Hey everybody, welcome back to Walking with Jesus Daily. We are in day 182 of our recordings. I don't know, hopefully whenever this is all finished and done, I won't have to, you'll hear this and not really make any sense, but for some reason I stopped doing the milk and meat, and I can't really tell you why. The milk and meat is related to a passage that Paul wrote, just explaining that he was hoping by the time he was writing this letter, that he was actually feeding them meat, feeding them spiritual teachings, and instead he was feeding them milk like infants, like Christians in infancy. And we're building up out of that. So what we're doing is, in the milk section, we are talking about the temporal. We're talking about what Jesus did, what he said, and applying some of that spiritual aspect of it. And in the meat section, we're just going full spiritual on it so that we can understand what is being talked about and why Jesus taught in the way that he did. So this will be milk for day 182. And we know that he just got done talking with the Pharisees. We know that he just got done having quite the conversation with them. He called them hypocrites. He called them pretenders and actors, that they only pretended to be holy, but really inside they were dirty. They were fake, and it caused us to take a good look at ourselves to see what comes out of us. He was reminding us that what truly defiles a person is what comes out of them, and not what they eat. So you see how there's a physical and a spiritual here. That's all of Jesus' teaching. So let's go into today. This is just the milk section. We're not going to go in too deep. I'm going to read these two passages. We'll do a small talk and then it'll be yours. Mark 7:24 through 30 and Matthew 15:21 through 28 ESV. And from there he arose and went away to the region of Tyre and Sidon. You can look on a map to see where this is. This is not where the Jews were. This is Gentile country. Okay. So he went to the region of Tyre and Sidon, and he entered a house and did not want anyone to know, yet he could not be hidden. But immediately a woman whose little daughter had an unclean spirit heard of him and came and fell down at his feet. Now the woman was a Gentile, a Syrophoenician by birth. This just says, that's just a fancy word of saying where they're from. And she falls down at the feet of a Jew, Jesus. And Jesus, being a Jew, this was unheard of for him to even be in a Gentile place. Okay, it says, and she begged him to cast the demon out of her daughter. Now keep in mind that Gentile pagan worship involved demon worship, involved idol worship, involved false god worship, and to be possessed by a demon was not an uncommon thing. As we have seen, Jesus has cast out many demons from Jews as well as Gentiles. It says, and he said to her, let the children be fed first, for it is not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs. Now what he's referring to here as God's children being the Jews and the dogs being Gentiles. Jesus is not calling them dogs, okay? He is referring to the way people spoke to them. But she answered him, yes, Lord, yet even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs. What a wise thing to say to Jesus. And he said to her, for this statement, because of what you said, you may go your way. The demon has left your daughter. She wasn't even there. It says, and she went home and found the child lying in bed and the demon gone. Now, what an incredible story. And I have all the chills and goosebumps just thinking about what just took place. Let's read Matthew's account. Again, this is Mark's account and Matthew's account. And we don't know for sure, 100% certainty, who wrote the book of Mark. Was it John Mark? Was it Peter and Mark wrote it for him? We don't know. But it sounds like an eyewitness. It sounds like somebody that was walking with Jesus. So, Matthew's account. And Jesus went away from there, from the Pharisees, and withdrew to the district of Tyre and Sidon. So what he was doing was he was leaving where he was receiving all of this pushback from the Jewish people, okay? He went to the Gentiles, and he said before that he was going to go to the Gentiles. It says, and behold, a Canaanite woman from that region came out and was crying, have mercy on me, O Lord, Son of David. My daughter is severely oppressed by a demon. Now we know in Mark's account it talks about him entering a house and not wanting to be noticed. And here it talks about when he was in that region, the Canaanite woman knew immediately who he was and came to him. And this is, listen to the words she said. This is a Canaanite woman. Have mercy on me, O Lord, Son of David. How does she know this? My daughter is severely oppressed by a demon. How does she know that her daughter has a demon? But he did not answer her a word. He said nothing. And his disciples came and begged him. His disciples went to him. Isn't this cool to see both parts of the story? Saying, send her away, for she is crying out after us. And Jesus answered them, I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I was sent to the lost in Israel. But she came and knelt before him, saying, Lord, help me. And he answered, it is not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs. She said, yes, Lord, yet even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table. And Jesus answered her, O woman, great is your faith. Be it done for you as you desire. And her daughter was healed instantly. What we get to see here is a woman who loved her daughter, but also recognized who Jesus was. She recognized the difference between good and evil. And she went to the only place that she could go. Jesus was a gift to her that he showed up in that place. And she was refusing. She was refusing. She was relentless in her pursuit of Jesus. And because of that, because of how she answered Jesus, because she did not give up, Jesus healed her daughter, gave her what she asked. But it says, great is your faith. What was talked about here was the faith of this woman. The milk of this story is the relentless pursuit of Jesus and the faith that he will do exactly what we ask. That he wants us to be well, and that he wants to work out incredible miracles in our life that come completely from faith. All right, guys, I'll see you in the meet.